This bear market is a long way from over. We're still going down a lot. I think we're going to start to see the forced liquidation once Bitcoin breaks below 20,000. And in fact, I was watching Bitcoin fall all weekend, and it was the most orderly, slow motion crash I've ever seen in Bitcoin. Typically, what you have when Bitcoin is going down, you have these flash crashes where Bitcoin spikes down maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a single 5-minute bar, right? And then it comes back. That never happened. It was a slow and steady decline. Nobody was like, just get me the hell out. I'm done with it. Probably a lot of people were buying the dip the entire way down. That doesn't look like anyone got a margin call. Anyone was forced to sell. So I think those forced liquidations are coming, but they're going to happen from a much lower level. You actually had a lot of bad news that came out specifically related to crypto, not just that tech assets, risk assets in general were getting clobbered, and clearly Bitcoin is in the risk asset camp, so it's getting clobbered along with the other risk assets, but there was some news specific to the crypto industry, the worst of which actually was released last night. A company called Celsius froze withdrawals of all cryptocurrencies stored by customers on its platform. Celsius is one of the largest crypto lenders. And in fact, the reason that so many customers, and I think they have about 2 million customers, and the reason they deposit their Bitcoin and other cryptos with Celsius is because they pay interest on your Bitcoin. And I think that interest is supposedly as high as 18%. So if you put 100 Bitcoin on their platform, over the course of the year, you'll end up with 118 Bitcoin, and that's a lot of money because normally you put Bitcoin in an account, you don't earn any interest. And of course, if you put dollars in an account or anything else, there's hardly any interest. Even after the Fed has raised interest rates are still very low. So these are very high interest rates. And so there were a lot of people that were attracted to this proposition. And now all of a sudden it's like a run on the bank, because what I think happened is a lot of customers started to get worried with Bitcoin prices crashing. Hey, maybe I should take my coins, or, maybe they had a margin call someplace else, or they needed their coins or whatever. People tried to get their coins off the platform, and they basically had to shut it down because obviously a lot of the Bitcoin and other tokens that were on deposit have been lost. And so there's not enough to redeem all the deposits. And had they not shut the doors, some people would have left with all of their deposits, and that would have imposed bigger losses on the people who didn't leave. And so in order to spread the losses more evenly among all of the depositors, they had to shut the doors. But this is a huge moment. This is a bank run. This is the end of this company. God knows how much crypto has actually been lost. People are going to have enormous losses. This is a big news announcement, another huge negative for this industry. We already had the complete blow up of the Terra Luna project. Now this thing is blown up. And remember, I was very critical of the Terra Luna project. The moment I heard of it, I knew it must have been a scam, and I was vindicated. Well, the same thing with Celsius, because I actually debated the guy who ran this company, Alex Mashinsky. And when I did this debate with this guy, Bitcoin was about $60,000 per coin, so near the top of the Bitcoin market. But I knew just from this interview, and I didn't really know anything about the guy until we had this interview. I hadn't done any research. I hadn't studied him. I had no idea about his company. But during this debate, he started to describe how he pays this high interest to depositors. In fact, they even had a crypto backed by gold that he said nobody really wanted, which made sense to me because people were buying cryptos to get rich. I mean, you don't buy gold to get rich. You buy gold to stay rich or to stop from going broke. But he said that people who did have these gold tokens on the platform, they were getting paid 5% interest on their gold. And I said, well, how could you pay 5% interest on gold? What are you doing to generate that interest? You must be taking a lot of risk. And Mashinsky responded to me by saying, no, we're not taking any risk. And I said, well, that's impossible. You have to take risk. It sounds to me like you're running some kind of a Ponzi scheme. It sounds to me like you're doing something that Madoff was doing. And obviously I was right. Clearly they were taking risks. Those risks have blown up. And in fact, I think if anybody lost money through this company, they could probably use that interview as evidence in a lawsuit, because here you have the head of the company lying to potential customers or actual customers who tuned in to watch this debate. About 150,000 people watched it. And if you look at all the negative comments about me that were posted, a lot of these people are obviously customers of Mashinsky's. They had accounts with his company, and they were told a flat out lie that the company was not taking any risk with their deposits. Well, of course they were taking risk. There is no such thing as a free lunch. There is no reward without risk. And that's exactly what happened. And now the people who are looking to get a return on their Bitcoin have lost their Bitcoin, and they're not going to get their Bitcoin returned. I mean, they may get a fraction of their Bitcoin returned. And of course, the Bitcoin, by the time they get their Bitcoin back, the market price of those Bitcoins will have probably dropped substantially from here, because this bear market is a long way from over. We're still going down a lot.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier, and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available, and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Marco Stan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address, because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Marco Stan.